Howdy, howdy. Welcome back to the Hardcore Podcast. This is episode 34, and I'm your host, Christopher Norwood.
And I'm your host, Robert Melton.
All right, so today we got a lot for you. We've had a couple video game showcases. We had an Ubisoft showcase as well as a Microsoft, I think it's called Days of Summer showcase. So we're going to be talking about some video games, some new announcements, some trailers, and ultimately leading up to the Androids. We're talking the Androids from...
Yeah, we're going to the Dragon Ball universe.
Exactly, yep. So we're going to be talking about them. But first off, we got some games. Got some fucking games. So, how much of the showcase did you see? Did you watch?
I didn't watch any of the showcase. I just watched some of the individual trailers.
The trailers, which is like, that's what the showcase is about. So,
oh yeah.
As well as I keep wanting to say Star Citizen. What is it?
Starfield.
So they showed off a lot of gameplay of that, but I didn't watch that. I've seen enough.
I skimmed through the 45-minute gameplay video, but...
did you see anything that we haven't already seen?
It's just... I don't think that game is for me.
Yeah, it's just... Especially with what we're about to go over, there's just so many games coming out, and there's actually a lot that I'm pretty excited about, and I just don't have time to just dump all my time into a game like that.
Yeah. It looks cool if you're, like, that into, like, sci-fi and... I guess Bethesda too, but...
Who likes Bethesda?
Ugh.
Like, they haven't put out a good game since 2011?
I think a lot of people like Fallout 4, but...
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Fallout 4 wasn't bad.
ESO was okay. Played a bit of that.
I'm trying to think of
76 sucked.
Dishonored came out. I think that was after Skyrim. I want to say that was 2012.
Bethesda makes a lot of shit. We're just talking about, like, their... What made Bethesda.
The bread and butter.
Yeah. But Todd Howard...
Stepped down.
No.
I'm just kidding.
No, he did like a reveal with like one of the other Bethesda guys, I believe. And they there's like a collector's watch for Starfield. And it comes in like the sick-ass case.
I think I did see that, actually.
And I guess it pairs with the game.
Because they also showed off a controller, right?
Yeah. But the watch like can pair with the game in some facet.
Is it a smart watch?
Yeah.
Huh. That's pretty cool.
It's pretty dope.
Maybe there's like a built-in app or something and it pairs with the game, keeps up with your progress. And
I can only imagine how expensive it is, though. I didn't even see that.
Did it look pretty cool?
It did.
It's like a nice looking watch. Yeah. Hey, that's pretty neat.
It's the same watch that the character wears in the game.
See, that's cool. Like, we're so used to like collector's editions coming with like statues or like an art book. And sometimes the statue's pretty sweet. Sometimes it kind of looks like shit. But like to go all out and, give us a watch, a smart watch, that's like the same one that the player wears. Like, that's pretty neat.
It is cool.
And it works like with the game and stuff. Like, that's what we want from like a collector's edition right there.
As long as they don't pull that Fallout 76 shit with the bag. Where they're like, oh yeah, this cool ass bag.
Shitty, like, shitty quality, terrible quality bag.
Yeah, they fucked that one up big time.
You get the watch, it's just a fucking Velcro watch.
Oh, dude, that'd suck.
It just looks fucking awkward. It's just huge.
Yeah.
Just on your arm, some Flava Flav shit on your arm. So, we had the Ubisoft Forward presentation. And they showed off like the new Avatar game that's been in the works. They showed off a new Prince of Persia game. We got to look at, obviously, what they're known for. Assassin's Creed. Surprise, surprise, we're getting a new Assassin's Creed. And there was actually, I think, 3 games, not revealed, but like 3 games they covered Assassin's Creed-wise.
Damn.
And then lastly, honestly, probably the one I'm most excited for, we knew that they were working on a Star Wars game, and we got a lot more information on that, as well as like a little gameplay reveal. So, Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora. Open world Avatar game. What they showed us, it looked very early. Like, it looked pretty clunky. I don't know if I would say I'm excited about it, but it looked like a pretty, Pandora's beautiful. You've seen the movies and stuff. Like, it's a
movie.
Really...
I've seen just the one.
Oh, just the first one? But it's like...
Did you see the second one?
Yes.
Oh, you did?
It was incredible. Way of the Water, I believe it was called.
Yeah.
But that was really good. But, like, beautiful, intricate world that James Cameron has created.
Well, let's hope the development for the game doesn't
Yeah.
take as long as the movie.
So again, I don't think we're gonna I don't think it's coming out anytime soon. I want to say, I could be remembering this wrong. I want to say that it said, like at the end of what they showed us, like it's supposed to be coming out next year. Would not be surprised if it gets pushed back.
Do you think 2024 is like the best year of gaming so far?
2024?
Sorry, 2023.
The best year of gaming so far. Probably too soon to tell.
I mean, so far.
Well, let's talk about that for a second. What have we got in 2023?
Okay, so to start the year off, we had Hogwarts.
Hogwarts, okay, big one.
We can't count.
Didn't we get
God
something
of War or Pokemon?
We can't count those. Didn't we get something pretty big in January though? I thought there was something that came out in January that was pretty big.
Perhaps.
I'm probably thinking of
Last of Us remake or something?
No, that came out last year.
Okay.
I'm probably thinking of God of War because that's when I actually beat it. I put like the other half of the time in and actually beat it. So that's probably what I'm thinking of. But yeah, so we got Hogwarts Legacy in February. Obviously, we got Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Massive, absolutely massive game. Later this month, we get Final Fantasy 16.
Yep.
Massive game. What else do we have coming out? Oh, we had Street Fighter 6. That's doing really well.
Street Fighter 6. We had Resident Evil 4 remake.
Resident Evil 4 remake. Yeah, that's a big one.
I feel like I'm missing some heavy hitters here.
Yeah, there's definitely some heavy stuff coming out for the rest of the year. Do we get...
I mean, Starfield comes out this year.
Do we get new Final Fantasy 7 this year?
I don't know.
That was one thing I forgot to watch. Damn it. I forgot to watch the new trailer for that.
Damn.
Fuck. Damn. That would be a pretty good... That'd be a pretty good episode. Maybe we look at the last 10 years of gaming.
Yeah.
And we see, like, what has been the best years. When we're really able to look at, like, all right, this game came out, this year and whatnot. But maybe. I mean, it's been a great year.
Yeah.
No complaints. Last year was a really good year for, like, Nintendo, for example. Like, 2 or 3 Pokemon games.
Mm-hmm. It was really good for Nintendo.
Yeah.
So that was the same year Arceus and Scarlet Violet
That's what I'm saying. Like, we just collectively put over 500 hours into just Pokemon.
And Diamond and Pearl remake came out.
All right, so it was 3.
Yeah.
Or was that the year prior? I can't remember.
No, I think it was last year.
Either way, this year is
definitely last year.
Is a big year for gaming.
Now that I'm thinking about it, Diamond and Pearl came out the holiday season prior.
That's what
so
I
that
was
was
thinking.
Technically 2022.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So, Avatar. Going back to Avatar. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. Like I said, I'm sure we won't get this game anytime soon. Trailer looked a little clunky and very unfinished, and honestly, I wasn't like super impressed with what they showed us.
That doesn't seem like a game I'd want to play anyway.
Yeah, but who knows? So it's like a first-person game. You're obviously
first person.
First-person game.
Do you play it as an avatar?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
You just play as a human,
killing avatars.
Yeah.
So again, we got an announcement for a new Prince of Persia game, which this is somewhat kind of going back to the roots. This is a 2D action platforming game, very stylized, not as realistic looking as like the other. Well, it's been a while since we've got a Prince of Persia game. I guess they were pretty stylized too. Yeah. Not that any Prince of Persia game has been like super realistic looking, but this one was definitely stylized and like kind of cartoony. But, if you're into that type of game, like it looked pretty sweet. It looked pretty promising. That's just I'm not really into like those games.
Yeah, it is interesting for like a AAA title to go back to like a 2D platformer.
Mm-hmm. So I guess maybe like a 2.5D is like the technical term for it. But yeah, it's action platformer. We did get a look at another look at the Assassin's Creed Mirage, new Assassin's Creed game. So that showed off some gameplay. Definitely looks like they are going back to their roots. I think this game deals with like kind of Indian, kind of Middle Eastern history. And it looks pretty decent. Like the last Assassin's Creed game, Valhalla, I actually really enjoyed.
Yeah.
But this one definitely looks like it plays like the older ones. Because they changed the combat with Origins. Do you remember Origins?
Yeah.
I think it was called Origins, where they went to like Egypt and dealt with like the history there.
Was that Origins? I know there was like two. Oh, yeah. You're
Origins,
right.
Odyssey,
Odyssey was
and
the
Valhalla,
one like
the
Greece
Greek.
and Rome. Yeah.
So, looks promising. I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for it. They also talked about an Assassin's Creed VR game. And what they showed off was like, you know, the guy with the VR headset, like he was playing, it was going in and out of like what the game looks like and then back to him, like the, you know, the motions he's doing. But it was just like generic cinematics. I guarantee the game is not going to look anything like what they showed us.
Yeah.
So that it's kind of hard to get excited for. But when you think VR Assassin's Creed game,
It sounds really cool.
it sounds cool, but I'm like, hopefully you're playing in an area where you got a lot of space.
Yeah.
No, if you're going to be doing all these like actions and things.
Did it show him like parkouring and shit?
Again, like the cinematic, it showed like him running, but I don't think he's just sitting there like running in his living room.
Yeah.
And then we're getting a mobile game, but I want to say it's an open world mobile game.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
Not
if that's your
really-
thing, if that's
not
your
really
thing.
a mobile
I'm
gamer.
not. Yeah, by any means, I'm not a mobile gamer. So, the last thing they showed was Star Wars Outlaws, and I did show you the gameplay that they had revealed to us.
Yeah, originally I just watched the trailer.
And this game looks sick.
It
This is something to get excited about.
looks really cool.
So this is a third-person action game. The gist of it's from what they had talked about before showing the gameplay. It's a girl and this creature companion become wanted and have to pull a big heist to finally escape a life of fighting and stealing to survive.
Yeah.
So gameplay trailer looked beautiful with some really cool mechanics. Seems to be open world, and your choices in game matter and affect the story. Includes space battles, and I'm willing to bet most scenarios in game allow different approaches because there was like a stealth approach that she had took in the game. This is set to release next year, and I'm very impressed with this.
Yeah. No, I'd say I'm pretty impressed too.
Yeah.
Especially for them to have kept this under wraps.
Mm-hmm.
And it just aesthetically looks really,
Beautiful.
really good.
Like we seen some things that if like that's what they're going to give us, it seems very immersive.
Yeah.
There's like there's not much HUD on the screen, so it's just like what you're seeing, you know, you playing the game, not like health bars,
Right.
not like little mini maps, which some people would probably not like, but I think that's kind of cool. Again, it just helps to like immerse the player into the game.
Hopefully there's like options.
Yeah,
a lot of
maybe you
these
can
new
turn it
games
on,
have
turn it off, you know.
a lot of options.
Always give the option, you know. So that was really it for the Ubisoft presentation. I know I kind of just like fast forwarded through a lot of that, but those were the main things that interested me.
Yeah. No, if you're a Star Wars fan and you have not watched or seen this game trailer or gameplay, definitely check out Star Wars Outlaw.
Seriously.
Because it looks... It's the best looking Star Wars game yet.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, just...
and Jedi Survivor just came out.
Yeah. Just what they showed us, this, like the 10 minutes of gameplay.
You know what, dude?
Already looks so much better than
This
like
makes
Jedi
me-
Survivor.
This makes me so stoked for the KOTOR remake.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's
Seriously.
going to look insane.
Yeah. And I'm willing to bet, I don't know if anything is like, has officially been said on this, but I'm willing to bet this is all canon.
I imagine so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little rebel girl. So
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah, I don't know if she really affects like the big plot in any way.
I imagine not.
But just like probably just a little side story of a character that we may see a cameo of in you know, a show to come,
Maybe
a movie to
she's
come.
Obi-Wan's mom or something.
Oh,
That'd be kind of cool.
Maybe. But either way, that looks pretty sick. So moving on to the Microsoft showcase. So they revealed a lot. And I got to say, Microsoft impressed me with this one. I don't think all of these, well, I know all of these aren't like Microsoft exclusives, but it was a really solid showcase.
Yeah, I went to the Microsoft YouTube page just so I could see all the trailers that had been released. And dude, it was so many games.
Yeah.
There was so many games.
And all of them that we're about to like talk about here, I'm not even covering all of them.
No, just
it
like
was just the main ones that like really like stuck out to me. And these first two, actually first three may take you by surprise, and I'm not going to talk about them too detailed, but I don't know why, I was kind of surprised at like how fun they looked. Flight Simulator 2024. So this game looks absolutely beautiful.
I didn't even see that one.
Yeah, well, I had finished watching that one before you had came over because I made Robert sit down with me and watch through all these trailers.
But it's a lot of like realism, right?
Yeah,
right?
This game looks so realistic. And I said, I bet this game is actually fun. Because this is not a game that I would initially think that would like grab my interest. But I bet if you had like a decent setup for the game, maybe some like flight controls or whatever, you could really get immersed and sink some fucking hours into this.
Yeah, dude.
So who knows? It may be something I try out. And same with City Skyline 2. So this is more of like a city building simulation game.
Mikey's going to love that.
Mikey is going to love this because I think sometimes I'll see him pop on like playing City Skylines. But it looked really sweet, man. Like it looked beautiful. And this is another game I feel like you can just dump so many hours into. And they showed off, there's a new, no surprise here, but there's a new Forza Motorsport coming out, just labeled Forza Motorsport.
Yeah.
So they're doing that one thing where I guess they're just kind of like restarting. And even if you go back to the 360 PS3, like driving games still look so good.
I think, in my opinion, driving games are the most realistic in video games.
I agree. And I don't know if that just is because they're more limited with what they have to show and their speeds and stuff, so things can be blurred and they can put detail elsewhere. But with that being said, this game looked photorealistic as fuck.
Yeah, literally.
This game looked crazy good. And it's been a while, but I like to go back to driving games here and there. You know, like I like more so probably like underground arcadey style driving games that aren't super realistic, whereas Forza Motorsports and like Gran Turismo, they are like simulators. You know, they're driving simulation games. But this looked awesome, man.
Yeah,
this looked really good.
I haven't played a Forza game in years, but I like Forza just for like its customizability.
Yeah, dude, you can like customize like the tire pressure in each tire.
You know how
like every little component, piece of machine underneath the hood, you can like customize and add this, take this out, add this color.
Yeah, literally.
It's
like,
crazy.
Yeah, you can paint shit that you can't even see.
Yeah,
but like how people like will camber their tires.
Yeah.
You can even do that on that game. So do you know what the purpose of that is? You're like it's aesthetic.
More of a car guy than we're not car guys, but you are more of a car guy than me. Is it just aesthetic? Is it like
it's purely aesthetic? Because when you camber your tire like that and you're riding on it, that tread goes away really fast. So you have to constantly be rotating your tires. So that one there, you're gonna have to rotate it here in like a fucking less than a month probably. So it's purely aesthetic. And
I was honestly thinking there was a reason, like more of a reason behind it, because I personally, not a car guy, I think it looks fucking dumb. I think it looks stupid. Do you like the look of it? I'm sorry if you like the look of it. Maybe I'm being a little too extreme. I just don't think it looks aesthetically pleasing.
It can be really stupid looking. There are some, because they call it like stanced cars. That's like the term for it. But there are some cars that can look pretty fucking cool, stanced out. But
because most of the time when I see it done, I don't know if this is a requirement, but the car is so low.
It's so low, like you run into a speed bump, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Like you back up like and you got to go the fuck around. Yeah.
I know, you can't go to hit your frame.
God forbid you go to fucking Richmond in a damn stance car.
Yeah.
Because you were destroying your bumper and everything else in the undercarriage. But
I'll pass on that one.
There's just no the utility. Like, drive a car for the utility.
Yeah. I agree. Just because,
like, car shows, I can understand that.
Yeah. If you have a lot of money, I can understand it.
Yeah.
Because I work with a lot of like car guys.
Yeah.
So these are people making, obviously I know how much I make. These people are making the same amount as me. Maybe getting a little bit more overtime, but I see the money that these guys are dumping into it.
Oh, dude.
And you've got to make a lot of money to like justify that.
I cannot imagine getting into cars. That is an expensive fucking hobby.
Yeah, I will pass on that.
I'm good.
I will take my 2017 Hyundai Elantra, very vanilla. Well, actually, I think I do have one of the higher trim packages, but cost me like, and this was a good time to buy a car when I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Had like right under 20,000 miles, cost me right at like 16 grand.
Yeah.
I've only put, you're going to be jealous of this, I've only put like 40,000 miles on it in the 6-7 years I've had it. Well, I guess it would be like 5 to 6 years. But I'm hoping it's going to last me another 10 plus. And again, cost me a fraction of what like these expensive cars cost.
That's insane.
So this next game, this is when you got here and started watching the videos with me.
Mm-hmm.
So Avowed.
Yeah.
This was that first person like fantasy RPG game. So first person fantasy RPG looks pretty good. Beautiful world that is plagued by a disease, and your character is here to investigate it. Your player seems to wield a power that people fear and is just unknown to them, which it's just like your classic kind of spells. And they showed off, because all of these trailers, I'm impressed, all of these trailers were like in-game engine, like gameplay trailers that they showed us. And it, again, looked beautiful, was very like colorful, bright, vibrant. The spells looked cool. The combat looked, it looked like it felt pretty good. Anything you want to say on that? Like, what do you think about the trailer? Something that can you see yourself playing?
Oh, I could definitely see myself playing it. Yeah. It's like right up my alley. It's very Skyrim-esque.
Yes. Yeah, that was what you had said. You were like, this looks like a more cartoony, obviously a better looking Skyrim.
Yeah, I wouldn't, just the more vibrant colors, I guess, give it more like a cartoony, but yeah.
When I say cartoony, my mind goes to like Borderlands,
cel
shaded, and that's not by any means.
Because that's what I told you. I said cartoony, but that's not what I meant.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a more like vibrant Skyrim style.
Mm-hmm. But it looked good.
Definitely looks good.
It looked good. Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty. Is this a game or is it DLC? You tell us, Robert.
Fuck if I know. If it was a game, they'd be working on it for 10 more years.
I mean, that is true. Maybe it's because when we were told that we were getting DLC for the game years ago, I think that's the name they gave us, Phantom Liberty. So maybe it is DLC, and maybe it's just like a good chunk of DLC. Almost like, remember the DLC for like Oblivion and Skyrim?
Yeah.
Like, that was good DLC.
Yeah.
You got your money's worth there.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'm just going to read off what I put. I thought this was supposed to be DLC. Feels like a completely new game. And based off of the dialogue in the trailer, your character V is dying and you are searching for a cure. So I had brought this up to you because we had played this game right when it came out.
Yeah.
Luckily, we had PCs and the game ran pretty well on our PCs. It wasn't plagued with the problems that the consoles had. But I don't remember the story much. Like, is your character dying? I know, like, Keanu Reeves' character, he like implants himself, or he's like taken over you, and maybe that's killing you. So maybe by the end of the game, you already know you're dying, or this is completely new, and like just for whatever reason that they'll explain in the DLC that your character's dying.
Yeah, I don't 100% remember because I can't remember if I finished the game or not. I know there was a lot of unfinished stuff I didn't do for sure.
It was a huge game.
Yeah.
It was a huge game.
So, it'll be a while before I play the DLC. I can tell you that. So I'm not rushing to go back to that game. Though it was fun. Mm-hmm. I'm just not, I gotta be in the mood for that.
Yeah. And it's a first-person shooter. I know that's not really up your alley. There's a lot more games that are a lot higher on my list, but it looked good.
Mm-hmm.
Like the trailer they showed us, it looked like it'd be fun whenever we're ready to step back into that world. So next is Clockwork Revolution. So I've never seen a game that looks more inspired by Bioshock Infinite in particular, than this game.
And Dishonored. Gave me huge Dishonored vibes.
So first-person shooter in a steampunk world that deals with time travel. Bioshock and Dishonored vibes. But what they showed us, it looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, this is a game where, like, when you played... Did you play Bioshock Infinite?
No.
So definitely has some, like, steampunk vibes. But this game was steampunk written all over it. I've never seen a game more steampunk than this. But it looked pretty cool. So if, like... I would say if you liked Bioshock and Dishonored, which I did, and you haven't... Especially if you haven't seen the trailer, check it out and maybe keep an eye out for this game. I can't remember if this one had this one said that it was coming soon, so there was no release date for this one. So maybe still early on. So we have next Path of the Goddess. So this is a new Capcom fantasy samurai action game. Beautiful and colorful world. Didn't reveal much, but looks very promising.
Looks promising. Combat looked pretty fluid.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way to put it. It was like weirdly fluid, but like not in the way that you'd maybe.
It wasn't like unrealistic samurai. It was like pretty realistic, like samurai. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Actually, no, I don't. Could you elaborate on that?
Like in
because realistic samurai, I'm thinking more so like Ghost of Tsushima. Like that's like realistic samurai. Like, what do you mean?
Well, I haven't played Ghost of Tsushima.
You've seen gameplay, though.
Sure.
Like, I think that does have some, like, supernatural elements. But this game was, like, definitely fantasy. No doubt about it.
Yeah, definitely fantasy. But from what I've seen in the combat, it just seems like natural movements, maybe, is more clear.
Okay.
It's like
more organic, fluid.
Yeah.
Like, maybe true to actually how they would battle back in the day type thing.
Right. Although, they probably do more blocking, but
yeah.
That's just how an action game is.
Right. But they still didn't reveal too much.
Right, yeah.
They didn't show us too much, but enough to where you're like, oh, damn, I'm intrigued. So that game looks pretty sweet. Not much to say on this one, but Still Wakes the Deep. So this was that one where we're like, oh, this is a Terrell game.
Yeah.
Our buddy Terrell, he stays on top of the like horror kind of survival games. He loves that. That's his bread and butter. So this is a new first-person, what looks to be a horror survival game, style game. They didn't show us much. It seems like this game kind of takes place on like an oil rig.
That's what it seems
out
like.
In the ocean.
Yeah.
Again, they didn't show us much, but like still, it was enough. It was eerie to where you're like, oh, okay, this looks really good.
Definitely enough really to good. Make you want to check out the next trailer.
Yeah. So keep an eye out for that. I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for that. Terrell is definitely going to keep an eye out for that. He already has it wish list.
Oh yeah.
Weird name here, Metaphor Refantasio. So this was the one made by the makers of Persona. That being said, a very Persona-inspired game. Very beautiful anime-like fantasy world. Sorry, I'm not the best with like descriptive words here, but it was a really pretty looking game. Color me interested. That's all I can really say. There was a lot going on.
There was so much going on in that trailer.
Very stylized, like you would expect from a Persona game. Not that it's a Persona game, but it's made by the makers of, was it 3, 4, and 5?
Mm-hmm.
So the makers of the first two had no hand in this game.
But this is like...
Specifically said 3, 4, and 5.
If somebody ever asks me what a JRPG is, I'm going to show them that trailer.
Dude, yes. Like this is the epitome of a JRPG. Just a lot going on. A lot of cool looking characters. Looks like a lot of cool like concept. It seems like, I don't know if I guess you would call like in Persona, well, yeah, in the Persona games, it's almost like a creature companion capture system, like similar to Pokemon. Like you get these personas to like fight for you, and you can then fuse them to make stronger personas. It seemed like that system was present, at least based off of the trailer they showed us. So that's cool because people who play and love the Persona games, like, that's a system they really enjoy. Okay, I was checking my battery. We're still good. So, with that being said, if you're a big Persona fan and you, for whatever reason, haven't heard about this game, Metaphor ReFantazio.
Very stranger name.
Yeah. So, staying on that Persona train, chugging along,
choo-choo,
we got a trailer for Persona 3 Reload. And this looks sweet because this is like a complete remake of Persona 3. At least it looked like a complete remake. Didn't give me remastered vibes.
No, it definitely looked very up to date.
I didn't play Persona 3 when it originally came out because I want to say this came out on the PS2, and I think there was a PSP version, and it just looked too good to just be a remaster. Like they did a lot more than just touch up some like textures and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go ahead and say this is a complete remake of Persona 3. Looks really good. I would say it's a good jumping point if you haven't like played Persona and you don't want to start with like the last one. You know, maybe 3 is a good spot to jump in because I'm sure the first 2 didn't age well because they were originally on the PS1.
That's crazy.
So until we get like remakes of those for modern consoles, I would say this is a good jumping on point. And this is set to come out next year. And it has a lot of style. Again, like you would expect from a Persona game. And lastly, with the news of Persona, we got a look at Persona 5 Tactica, which is the characters that we know and love from Persona 5. They've been chibi-fied and put into a tactics game, which is really exciting because I love Persona 5, and I do enjoy a tactics game here and there. So, again, Persona 5 meets tactics, chibi-style game with the Persona style we all know and love. I'm guessing that this is an original story, and if you're listening to this and you haven't heard about it and it sounds intriguing, you don't have to wait much longer because it's set to come out November 17th of this year, 2023. So I definitely am going to keep my eye out for that one. And lastly, we have 2 Yakuza games. Well, games set in the Yakuza universe. Because it was originally 1, and then when we finished that one, we seen a thumbnail for a new one, and I was like, I don't remember seeing this trailer in the showcase. So the first one that they showed off that was a part of the showcase was Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. And this stars, I haven't played Yakuza, I really want to get into the series, but this is like the newer protagonist from the Like a Dragon games, the guy who has like the crazy hair. So the trailer showed him waking up on a beach, and he's straight nude. He's naked, and everyone around him is speaking English, and he doesn't know what's happened, how he got here. So I'm thinking maybe this game takes place in like an English-speaking country.
Yeah.
Because he's still speaking Japanese. But I don't know.
It looked interesting.
It looked interesting. They didn't show off anything other than that.
Yeah.
And then we also have a game coming out called Like a Dragon Gaiden. And this stars the main Yakuza guy. I'm trying to think of his name. I'm going to butcher it. Kirizu or something like that. I don't fucking know. I played a little bit of Yakuza 0. Had fun with it, but if you know me, I drop games. Can't remember why I dropped that one. But it stars that character, and it showed some combat. You know, the combat looked like it was tweaked a little bit, but for the most part, the combat in the Yakuza games have been like the same, other than that Like a Dragon, because that took a like a more traditional like turn-based style combat system. So it showed off the combat. It looked good. It looked very arcadey. It looked fun. But like, what is this game? You know,
I have no idea.
Like, we got 2 trailers with like the same names. We have the original protagonist. We have the newer protagonist in the different game. Like, what's going on here?
I have no idea.
You know, like, I don't know what happened in the first Like a Dragon game, but like, are they finding a way to like bring these 2 characters together? Like, I have no fucking clue. But either way, like, color me intrigued. Like, it looked interesting.
Maybe it's like Pokemon. They're releasing 2 versions.
Maybe. Gaiden looks a little more interesting if so. But as far as like the showcases and like games that were announced and revealed, we're seeing, oh fuck, almost forgot about Fable. How the fuck did I almost forget about Fable? What the hell? So that was a part of the Microsoft showcase, obviously. We finally get a real trailer for Fable. And what they showed us...
And they're going back to the original name. So
Fable. This is just Fable. And what they showed us was in-game, like a trailer using the in-game engine. So it wasn't just cinematics. Like, this was actually what the game's going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
And how would... You do your best to explain the trailer. You take it from here.
Okay,
how would you explain that?
The trailer... Do you remember that actor's name?
No, I definitely don't. Like, I see him and stuff, but... I definitely don't know his name.
Yeah, very strange take on a trailer, but basically it's an introduction with this man speaking to the camera, and then it kind of not pans, but it cuts to like this girl in the Fable world.
Mm-hmm.
And, you got your Fable, like snarky remarks in the trailer, a very adult language.
Yeah, it's very like silly and like still mature.
Yeah. And then I guess the protagonist, the character, comes up to this giant door and she like knocks something over. And then the guy that's introducing and talking to you, the viewer,
he's just like a farmer,
Yeah.
Because they're asking him, they're like, hey, what do you think about heroes?
Right.
He's like, heroes in this day. Because he's just a farmer. He just wants to farm.
Mm-hmm.
And he seems like he's just like annoyed by all these heroes because I guess this is a time where it's just like, oh fuck, everyone's a hero nowadays.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But then like she knocks something over outside and he's like, hold on a second. And then it kind of cuts and she's about to say like, oh fuck, but it cuts off and she's like, oh, and then it just shows the title Fable.
Well,
something like that.
Well, when he's like, give me a second, he goes and sees what the noise is, and it was her.
Oh, that's right.
But she was much smaller in his house, so it shows like him trying to like crush her with the cup.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I missed a whole chunk of that.
Yeah. It ends with like her eating a sandwich. She throws the sandwich. It pans out, and then she's now sitting on top of his glasses. But I'm just wondering, like, is this like a new mechanic? Can you like grow small? Can you grow large? Like... This was not in the original Fable games that I know and love.
That's what I was curious about when I watched the trailer after I'd sent it to you. I was like,
that doesn't
are there giants in Fable?
I mean, like,
is this a different time period?
I mean,
that guy was massive.
I have no clue.
And the sandwich she was eating was small.
It's definitely, I don't know if this is like just they're completely starting all over, because where Fable 3 kind of like leaves off, it's like the Industrial Revolution, like we have trains and stuff, we have factories, machinery.
Yeah, this definitely seemed more
medieval fantasy roots. So again, maybe they're just completely starting all over. It would make sense. The game's just called Fable, but I don't really know how I feel about it because it doesn't. So I'm not a purist by any means, but when it comes to something like Fable, huge Fable fan, I am a bit of a purist. Because I'm such a big Fable fan, and this just did not feel like the Fable universe I know and love. So I just don't know. I'm on the fence right now. Either way, no matter what they show us when it comes out, you can guarantee I'm going to play it day one.
Yeah.
But just as far as right now, I don't know how I feel.
When I first watched the trailer, I was like, oh shit, Fable. Because when I sent it to you, I hadn't watched it yet. So I watched it afterwards.
Right.
And because I had just seen the shit posted online.
Fable, Chris has got to see this.
Yeah. So I figure if anybody has to see it, it's you.
Yeah.
So when I looked it up on my computer, I was like, okay, Fable. And I started the trailer and I was like, is this like Fable? Like the Fable? Because it did not seem like Fable at all.
Yeah. It definitely is.
Yeah, but
you can tell by the title.
I could tell by the font. I was like, this is definitely Fable.
Yeah, this is Fable.
So, Of course, from a small trailer like that, you can't tell much.
Yeah, and you know, like, I am very biased because this was like one of my, as if you heard in one of the previous episodes, this is like one of my first like real RPGs I played. Came out in 2004. It's not fair to be like, hey, this isn't the world from a dated game in 2004.
Yeah. It's fucking 20 years ago.
Definitely going to have like, you know, new ideas and new things, new mechanics, just new things going on. So like, and I'm conscious to that, but still, like, I am a bit of a purist when it comes to this topic. And you had like large pumpkins. It almost seemed like you had like a Jack and the Beans, you know, like the giant fucking vine coming out of the ground. So we're definitely, there's maybe a phenomenon happening with like things getting large and people shrinking down. So I imagine that's going to be a big mechanic in the game. I'm just wondering how it's going to play out. Yeah. But, you know, it did show, again, if this is like in-game engine, it did show the character use like a fireball, like on a bandit. It did show the wolf creature, Balverine. I don't know if it was a white Balverine or just like a normal Balverine, but like we get the enemy types that we're like used to in the Fable universe. But what I was getting at with the fireball, like, I'm guessing that's like actual gameplay, like what it's going to look like.
Right.
Like that looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's promising. So either way, like I'm excited, but I just don't know how I felt about that trailer.
That's fair.
It was a fun, funny trailer though. I like how it was set up. It was very Fable-esque. Because, you know, Fable is like mature. Like obviously when she was being held, she was like, oh, and then it went to Fable. She was going to say, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
You know, but it went to Fable. So like that's really funny. So that part of it they nailed.
Mm-hmm. I'm hoping it holds up. Because it reminds me of like when the God of War trailer came out.
Like 2018?
Yeah. Obviously that looks way more promising than like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, God of War 2018 trailer versus like the old God of War. Because you're like, what the fuck? Kratos has a beard, a son, an axe. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Where are your chains?
Yeah.
What? You're not in Greece? What?
Yeah. So you want it to hold up to its predecessor. So
yeah,
you do have to be open-minded, but because if you are going to be like an actual purist, you're not going to like the game.
But if I was,
you know what I mean?
And
you are an open-minded person, so I know you'll take it for what it is for what it is, and then kind of form your own opinion on the game.
Because, I mean, a real purist will see that trailer and be like, I'm not even going to fucking give this game a fucking chance.
Yeah, it's like a motherfucker that says, anything after Gen 1 Pokemon, it's fucking trash, dude.
Dude, have you seen the fucking designs?
They ran out of ideas. They have a damn keychain.
There's a fucking there's a fucking ice cream cone.
Motherfucker, they had magnets in the first generation. What are you talking about?
Oh, dude, what are some other weird ideas in Gen 1? Jinx? What the fuck is Jinx?
What is that?
what is that? Jinx? And like, honestly, yeah, here we go getting on Pokemon. But I have to say, you know, everyone always goes to like Klefki, and not that I'm like a big supporter of Klefki, but like Klefki's kind of it's not a bad looking Pokemon by any even what is it, Vanillux?
I was literally about to say that. I was like,
Vanillux is not a bad looking Pokemon.
It's not.
Or were you about to talk shit about Vanillux?
No, I was gonna say like the same thing can be said about that. Like, oh, fucking ice cream cone. What the fuck?
And don't you dare come at me about fucking a bag of trash, Garbodor.
Like,
I fucking love Garbodor.
Look at Rotom. Okay.
Yeah.
He's a spirit, like an electric energy.
Yeah, just a fucking floating
and he just
electric
gets into
energy.
a mechanical device.
Yeah, like
or an electric device.
I don't like Rotom as much, but like it's still pretty cool. But yeah.
But Pokemon makes them make sense. So
yeah.
And guess what? It doesn't have to fucking make sense. It's a fictional, made up fucking
yeah. Seriously.
Franchise. Like, who gives a fuck?
I'm trying to think of some other like ridiculous like Gen 1 designs, which nothing's coming to mind because I admit most Gen 1 designs are fucking like they're solid.
Most of them are based off of animals.
Solid. But you know, like you said, there's
fucking
just
Voltorb.
I mean, yeah, that's as lazy as it gets. But like Electrode, I like Electrode. Magnets, I like Magneton. Magnezone is dope as fuck.
How do magnets work?
Huh?
How do magnets work?
How do magnets work?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's some science shit, man.
Nobody knows.
That's some science shit, man. That's some mineral science shit. But as far as the games go, that's all of them that like really interested me.
Yeah.
So again, with Microsoft, I know all of those weren't like strictly like, hey, these are Xbox and PC exclusives, but I guarantee some of them were. Like weirdly, some of the Persona games, I didn't see PlayStation on there at all.
Yeah, that's strange.
No, sorry. It wasn't.
Not
wasn't
Persona.
Yakuza. It was
yeah.
And that started as like a PlayStation IP. So either way, some good stuff. Like still a Sony Nintendo guy more than anything, but like, I think that's a win for Microsoft, and they needed a dub, so I'm happy for them.
Yeah, this might give them an inch.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and like, I think as a gamer we should get away from the fucking like console war shit, anyways.
Yeah.
So it is fun just to talk some shit. Like if someone's like, honestly, dude, like I don't see what PlayStation has. Like Microsoft has won it from day one. I'm gonna come at you, because that's just a shitty argument.
Yeah, I mean that was an argument for the PlayStation 3. Like PlayStation 3 has no games.
PlayStation 3.
But to be fair, the 360 destroyed that generation.
Well, with the 360, you had Halo 3, which is fucking phenomenal. You had Halo 3, you had Reach. I haven't really got into this game series, but like people love Gears of War. Gears of War is absolutely huge. Yeah. You had so many bangers. You had Fable 2, Fable 3. Say what you want about Fable 3, but Fable 2 was a solid ass game. But there were still some fucking heavy hitters on the PS3. I think it was pretty.
One of my favorite games, God of War 3. God of War 3. Fucking Dante's Inferno.
One of the biggest games of all time started on the PS3. The Last of Us.
Yeah, I mean that's the biggest PlayStation 3 game.
Yeah, and that was some people forget that started on the PS3.
Yeah.
Uncharted,
yep.
I mean, there's so many fucking heavy hitters. We could probably save this for an episode in itself.
Let's
But I was just saying like we should we should do away with the console wars, but sometimes it's fun to talk a little bit of shit.
Yeah.
But yes. So with that being said, this to me, hopefully these games deliver. That was a dub for Microsoft. Good job, guys. So we are now getting into we're going to talk about the androids. The androids from, DBZ, which there's a lot we could talk about. There's some that we don't discuss. Maybe the main ones, the numbered ones.
We could be talking for days with the amount of lore that Akira Toriyama has developed over the fucking last 40 years. I don't even know how long it's been.
And I was trying to like do some digging because some of these there's just not
there's
much
not
out
a lot
there
on a lot of it.
That's like canon. Well, I guess that's not fair to say because some of these are from movies. The movies, as we know,
not everything we're going to be going over is canon, but most of it will be.
I guess what I'm saying is like there's a lot of DBZ fan fiction.
Yeah.
So there's probably a lot of DBZ fan fiction android lore.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find like the stuff that came from our boy Toriyama.
Yeah.
Dr. Toriyama.
So basically this is going to be a briefing of all of Dr. Giro's androids.
Oh, that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
In the Dragon Ball universe. Not necessarily all from Dragon Ball Z. Some from Dragon Ball, some from Super. And I don't think we really have any GT mentions.
No.
Because that is not a canon
You see like
series.
Cameos, like some of these characters appear in GT.
But no Super 17.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
But let's get this started off right.
Yeah, and you may be asking like, wow, this is kind of out of nowhere. Like, why are we talking about this? We like to talk about some lore here and there. We felt like we haven't talked about DBZ in a while, but most importantly, it's our fucking podcast and we can talk about whatever the fuck we want.
Facts.
Yo, I like it. All right, so you covered odd, I cover even. You go ahead and get us started with 1 through 7.
So this is like the most juicy shit. Juicy.
Yo, that shit sounded moist, man.
It did. That shit moist, boy.
Did you hear me? That was really high pitched. You hear that laugh?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
That
I can't even recreate that.
It sounded like Roku when he yawns.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, but androids 1 through 7. All these units have design flaws or other problems which led them to be scrapped. They are mentioned twice during the Cell Saga of Dragon Ball Z, but are never physically seen, though Android 3's capsule was briefly seen in a flashback. That's all the fucking information there is on 1 through 7.
Honestly, I was super bummed because doing the research for this, I was like, man, I'm excited because there's so much about these androids I don't know. And now it makes sense because no one fucking knows about them.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, because when we had this idea, we were like, this would be cool to delve into these androids that we don't know from the anime.
Yeah.
Like, surely there's some manga shit in here.
I know, because we were thinking, like, early on, we were like, is there enough here to really, like, go into a lore episode? And I'm like, yeah, there's so many androids. Like, of course there is. There's going to be so much awesome shit.
Little did we know.
Yeah, so I'm sorry if this part's pretty quick, but... Oh, sorry. So you did knock out 1 through 7, but before, I do have a little introduction.
Oh, let's go.
So, before we can talk about the androids, Dr. Gero, we got to start with the Red Ribbon Army.
Okay.
Because this is where it all starts. So, Red Ribbon Army, they play a massive part throughout the Dragon Ball universe, but mainly Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Especially early Dragon Ball. I don't know why I'm doing this.
Surprisingly, the latest movie.
Yes.
About the Red Ribbon Army.
It was fucking awesome.
It was awesome.
All right, so the Red Ribbon Army is a criminal organization set on finding the Dragon Balls to aid them in their goal for world domination. Whoa, not cliche at all.
Wow.
That's so original, Akira, Dr. Toriyama.
Yeah.
So, in doing so, their top scientists, Dr. Gero, and one of the founding members of the Red Ribbon Army, created many androids to help do so and strike fear and keep the power balance in their favor. So, over the course of the Dragon Ball universe, so far, there have been 3 types of androids. We see infinite energy models, energy absorption, and organic energy circulation models. So, infinite energy models. They have an unlimited source of power with no drawbacks, but in return are difficult to control. So, for example, we see this with Android 17 and 18, which we'll get more into. But for their infinite energy reactors to function, their behavioral limiters have to be disabled.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why you see them pretty much do whatever the fuck they want to.
Yeah.
But they have this infinite amount of like energy that they can just kind of like rely on.
Yeah.
So next, energy absorption models. They require constant intake of energy, usually stolen from victims to keep their power reservoirs from draining. Examples of these androids include Android 19 and 20. And lastly, we have the organic energy circulation models. Energy exists and circulates as a form of organic ki similar to that of naturally born beings. So, for example, of these models include Cell, Android 21, and I put Clone Frieza, but the clones are, it deals with like the Dragon Ball Fighter Z game in that story.
Yeah. So, not exactly canon, but
yeah. But, yeah, and like you said, unfortunately, no real information is on for Androids 1 through 7, other than having design flaws and being scrapped. So with that being said, I can just get right into Android 8.
Yeah, let me just preface by saying
yes,
we did not include Cell into this. Maybe we'll do another episode where we go over more Dragon Ball Z villains, which could be fun.
Yeah. Oh, we could do literally cut it off after Z, and that's a good information. That's a good episode.
I mean, you got
there.
fucking Janemba, you got Babidi, you got Dabura. You have a bunch.
Maybe we can cut. Maybe we can make that 2 episodes. I forgot how many fucking baddies are in.
There's a lot. You got Raditz. You got fucking Nappa. There's a lot.
Yeah, Vegeta. I mean, the whole
show is about
the
fucking
whole Ginyu
killing.
Force, Frieza.
Oh God,
brother,
Raccoon,
Bama. Okay, so Android 8, also known as Ader. If you've seen Dragon Ball, you know exactly who I'm talking about. To me, very iconic, but not a lot of people know Dragon Ball, so they probably wouldn't say the same.
Right.
But if you've seen him, obviously modeled after Frankenstein's monster, but in contrast is very kind and friendly. And due to this, he is deemed a failure. Android 8 is introduced in Dragon Ball and makes cameos in both Dragon Ball Z, GT, and many of the games.
Mm-hmm.
Even made a cameo in Superhero, the latest movie. Yeah. It was a flashback, but either way, he was in there. I love Ader. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, I did too.
Like he's
very iconic.
Very iconic to me, and I just remember when I first went through Dragon Ball, I was like, man, this character is just so cool.
Yeah,
His
every
design
time
is really cool.
When I think of Ader, the only animation I see is that retro Dragon Ball animation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Go Dragon Ball.
Yeah. I got a little more information about him if that was all you had.
That's all I got.
Android 8's transformation into a heroic figure is marked by his act of rebellion against the Red Ribbon Army. Fueled by a newfound sense of empathy, he is not only turned against his creators, but also joined forces with Goku. Such a nice guy. And his friends to thwart their evil plans. Android 8's decision showcases remarkable capacity for growth, illustrating that even an artificial being can possess a conscience and the ability to make choices based on compassion. So all you motherfuckers out there that are killing animals and abusing people and doing all this shitty stuff, even robots have feelings.
Yeah,
Come
seriously.
on, dude. Be better.
8 and 16.
Be better. In the climax
I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
Exactly. Summed up great. In the climax of the Red Ribbon Army saga, Android 8 sacrificed himself to protect Goku from an attack by Staff Officer Black. Don't even remember who the fuck that is, to be honest.
They all had just
very generic. Yeah. Although he was heavily damaged, Android 8's sacrifice served as a pivotal moment in his redemption arc. The act solidified his transformation from a tool of destruction to a selfless protector, and it showcased his capacity for heroism and love.
Even early anime sometimes get deep.
Facts.
You just got to do a little digging. It's there.
Just pay attention, man.
Yeah. So with that all being said, Android 8, solid guy, really cool character.
Yeah.
Iconic.
So, do we want to work backwards from 15 to 13? Or do we want to go 13, 14, 15?
Does it make more sense? Because I just did 14 and you did 15 and 13, so you know more. Does it make sense to do that?
A lot of it goes into 13.
Okay, then we can do that. I didn't know that, so maybe...
Because they're from the same movie.
Yeah, okay. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Super 13. Okay, I see what you're saying. But first off, Android 10 and 12... are also scrapped failures that don't have any information because Dr. Toriyama was like, fuck that.
Yeah. Gotta love it.
Damn it, Doc.
He was just like, fuck these characters. All right, so I'll start at 15, then you can go to 14, then I'll do 13.
Okay. Well, I will say, I don't have anything that really leads back into 13, so maybe you can segue it into 13.
Okay.
Yeah, just go through 15. I'll say what I have, and if you have anything to add about 14.
All right. So, Android 15. According to Akira Toriyama's art of the character, this android was actually intended to be 14. However, Toei Animation switched the android's two names. Android 18 dons a large green hat with a red ball on top with an orange suit with a red ribbon bow tie. You know which one I'm talking about?
I'm looking at him right now.
Are you?
Yeah. He's that guy for the longest time that I was like, who the fuck is that?
Oh.
Little clown-looking guy.
The pimp dude.
Yeah.
He's a pimp.
Such an interesting... That's just so like Akira Toriyama.
I know.
That's so like...
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's got such a specific style.
Yeah, I love it. One of the best.
Android 15 was developed by Dr. Gero at some point before the Android saga, along with Android 13 and 14. He was quite close to the final Android form. However, like their predecessors, they had one problem or another, and as such were presumed to have been destroyed by Dr. Gero. While 15 and 14 are taking up arms against Goku and Trunks, this is just a little bit of lore about it, because there's not so much.
This movie takes place in that parallel timeline with future Trunks.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So they're...
I mean...
I don't know if they're canon or not.
At that point, why is it not canon?
Yeah, I guess
You know?
technically,
Like,
because I didn't look it up.
canon and everything that happened then. Like, why could that not? Why is that not canon?
I didn't look it up if they were canon or not, but
maybe there's something with that story and the canon story with Future Trunks that contradicts. Maybe, I don't know.
Possibly.
I don't even know if I've seen this movie. If so, it's been
a very long time since I've seen this movie. If I have, yeah, I don't remember much at all. I definitely remember 13. But it could have been like from like clips or like something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Because he's the one that kind of like long hair, wears the hat.
Yeah.
Like the trucker cap.
And he turns into the blue one.
Yeah.
Okay. So, where was I? Oh, 15 and 14 are taking up arms against Goku and Trunks. A third android arrives on the scene, Android 13, who was completed by Dr. Zero's supercomputer. After androids 15 and 14. Supercomputer after androids 15 and 14. Upon his arrival on the scene, 13 confronts Goku, leaving Trunks and Vegeta to fight against 14 and 15 respectively. Ultimately, android 15 is destroyed by Vegeta following Vegeta's transformation to Super Saiyan by decapitating him with a punch in sync with the destruction of android 14 by Super Saiyan Trunks.
So you're going over this just because it's like the death of them?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I just described their demise. It just seemed
like a random part of like the movie. I was like, what? Yeah. What are we doing here?
Yeah. I was trying to
give context
to like what happens to these characters.
Oh, okay.
Because we don't see these characters literally ever again.
Yeah.
Except for maybe like some cameos in a game or something.
Yeah.
So, although not before dealing a heavy blow to the Super Saiyan Prince simultaneously with the decapitation having a delayed effect. However, even their deaths are a failsafe, as 13 absorbs components from 15 and 14, resulting in his transformation into Super Android 13. So what do you got on 14?
All right, so 14, and we have like a puzzle that Robert's girlfriend put together and had all these characters in it, and some of them you're like, I've seen him, but who is that?
Yeah.
And so, for example, 15, I finally see him. 14, I finally see him.
There's like
sure
70 characters
on there. There's some like obscure. You have like Garlic Jr.
Yeah.
You have what's that other one that looks like Goku and Bardock but isn't them?
Dude, fuck if I know.
It'll come to me. Ah, shit.
Just name a vegetable.
Yeah. Turnip? Turles?
Ooh, turtle. Turtle. Yeah, you're right.
Turles.
Turtles.
Google that. See what pops up.
Turtles.
I need to see if this is that's who
yeah,
that
you're totally
is.
right.
Tarlis. It's something like that. I don't know if that's quite it. Type in DBZ. Oh, probably Turles. But yeah, that's definitely him up there.
You're right.
Yeah, there's some fucking obscure guys up there. All right, so Android 14. Android 14 was created along with Androids 13 and 15 and were created to avenge the Red Ribbon in their defeat by Kid Goku, but were eventually scrapped even though they were so close to being the ideal design, like you had said. Android 14 made his debut in the Super Android 13 movie, which takes place in the Future Trunks parallel world. He serves only as a lackey to target and kill Goku, shows very little emotion, and prefers to let his fist do the talking.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's all I got. But he's like very pale. I think he's supposed to be like Native American, has like his hair braided, very long braid. But he's just all muscle, just cold.
Yeah.
Stone, motionless face.
Yeah.
Just pissed.
He looks pretty fucking sick.
Like his literally one mission. He's only created, sole purpose is to kill Goku.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I was reading when I was doing some research. Like he only has like a couple lines.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's
like
just like
Trunks.
Smart. Oh, wasn't it something like Trunks swings the sword, he catches it?
Oh, yeah.
Like, boys shouldn't be playing with knives or some shit like that.
That's
exactly just cliche.
That was like his only other line.
Yeah.
And I don't even think that was in the Japanese.
Like they made that just for the English dub?
Yeah. It was specifically a Funimation thing.
Interesting.
So ultimately, Android 14 is destroyed following Trunks' transformation to Super Saiyan, who slices him in half with a sword when the two both charge for each other.
Swing.
And this is in sync with the death of Android 15 that gets punched, decapitated by Vegeta. So they both kill them, father and son style.
Oh my gosh. Burning Slash.
Yeah. Dad, watch.
I'm proud of you, son.
Hey, Dad.
What was that?
I was trying to do like that raspy Trunks voice. Dad.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, Goten. My dad could beat your dad in a fight. My dad's a lot stronger than yours.
Not even gonna attempt a Goten voice.
Oh gosh. Yeah, especially after that terrible Kid Trunks impression.
All right.
Android 13.
Moving on to Android 13. Android 13's design reflects the stereotypical image of a muscular, tall, and imposing figure. He has long white hair and wears a brown bomber jacket with a red ribbon army insignia. Android 13 possesses immense strength, speed, durability, characteristics of the androids in the Dragon Ball series. He is capable of launching powerful energy blasts, engaging in hand-to-hand combat, and withstanding significant damage. He also has the ability to absorb energy from his surroundings to enhance his power level.
Oh.
This man, he be doing the most.
So he's extra. Probably an energy absorption model.
Yep.
So he needs to absorb like life forms, take their energy to grow stronger.
Exactly.
Okay, very cool.
Android 13 has the ability to undergo a unique transformation known as Super Android 13. After absorbing 14...
He absorbed him.
From Boston. Absorbing 14 and 15. In this form, his physical appearance changes. His skin turns blue and gray, and his hair looks exactly like Vegeta Super Saiyan hair, except it's orange. And his power level increases significantly. The transformation grants him even greater strength and energy projection abilities, making him an even more formidable adversary. He exhibits a ruthless and aggressive personality and is activated alongside his fellow androids 14 and 15 following Dr. Giro's death. The trio embarks on a mission to eliminate Goku and his allies, specifically targeting Goku due to his status as a powerful Saiyan warrior. Also got to note that that's Giro's death in the movie and not in
future
canon Dragon Ball timeline. Yeah. Android 13's demise. So he becomes desperate to kill. Hold the fuck up. I don't know why I worded it like this. So Goku is forced to prepare his ultimate weapon, the Spirit Bomb.
That copy and paste is a bitch.
No, look, I put becoming desperate to kill 13, but I don't know why I put 13 there.
Oh, to kill Goku.
Yeah, okay, kill Goku. Goku is forced to prepare his ultimate weapon, the Spirit Bomb, while Krillin, Vegeta, Gohan, and future Trunks distract 13. So I don't know if you knew about this death, but it's fucking pretty cool. Goku transforms into his Super Saiyan form. His body absorbs the Spirit Bomb.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, absorbs the Spirit Bomb's immense energy and erases the surrounding ice until the land 13 is standing on is nothing more than a singular pillar. So you can just like picture that, like the fucking Spirit Bomb. Then Goku just absorbs it, and all the ice is melting because they're in like this like glacier.
Is it just the heat coming from?
Yeah,
him,
just the energy from the Spirit Bomb.
Wow,
it's just melting it.
Huh? I have to look.
So he's just standing on a pillar. Mm-hmm. When 13 tries to attack Goku, his arms end up incinerated by the raw energy emitted from Goku and the Spirit Bomb. Afterward, one punch from Goku disintegrates 13.
You know, like that sounds cool, but like I'm gonna preface by saying a lot of the older Dragon Ball Z movies I've seen, like they're not really that great.
Yeah.
So in this almost, again, I don't even know if I've seen this, but this sounds like it's following that trend. Like, that sounds cool, but, like, if you're building up these guys and he just does a Spirit Bomb, absorbs it, kills him in one punch, I'm like, oh, well, fuck, there's the movie.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm sure this movie's probably like an hour 15.
Oh, it's probably so quick.
Yeah.
But, because not that long ago, I watched the very first one, the very first Dragon Ball Z movie.
Oh, really?
And I'm trying to think of, like, what it's called, but it was not good by any means. I was not impressed.
Damn.
So I'll have to.
There's so many Dragon Ball Z movies.
There's a lot.
And
like,
there's not a lot that are like that notable to me. Like the one with Janemba. I fucking love that movie.
Yeah. I just think
there's
I
a couple
more
Broly
so
movies.
like Janemba.
Yeah.
And, well, I mean, Gogeta, like that was when we first seen
Yeah,
Gogeta. Like
exactly.
that's fucking sick too.
Mm-hmm.
When he wasn't canon.
I know. Good old days.
But yeah, but Janemba is just like, he's iconic at this point, but he just looks so badass.
Yeah. That was all I had.
Oh, that was all you had? Okay.
For 13.
So
now we're skipping to 16.
Skipping to 16.
Not really skipping, but going to 16.
We went 15, 14, 13, but yeah, that would lead us to Android 16. So Android 16, this is when we really get to like the more iconic androids that like everyone knows and loves. So Android 16 was created using Dr. Giro's own son, Jivo, as a template. Jivo was a commanding officer in the Red Ribbon Army who was said to be ruthless and daring. He unfortunately fell to an enemy bullet, and due to his son's death, when Android 16 was created, he was purposely programmed to be non-aggressive, so he couldn't be killed again. Because if you think back to Dragon Ball Z, it was 17 and 18 that like got him like reprogrammed, that like kind of turned him on.
Yeah.
Because Dr. Giro was like, hey, leave it. Just leave him alone. Don't mess with him. Because like maybe there were some things he was still tweaking and finishing, but like he couldn't like relive that again, you know? So, fun fact, in Dragon Ball Kai, Dr. Giro reveals that Android 16 is actually the strongest android, besides Cell, but of like the number one, he's the strongest and could even destroy the planet if he wanted to. That's so I just didn't know that because, you know, when you think 16, 17, 18, I'm thinking, all right, it could go either way with 17, 18, but like 16, you're strong, but you're not the strongest. But he actually was. He just was so like, he was just more kind and just not as aggressive.
I mean, dude, his fucking fists were rockets.
I know. I love when he would just
yeah.
I think it was called, awesome. I remember in Budokai, Hellfire Cannon.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like I played that game so much, I remember a lot of like the moves that they would do. And honestly, when you think about it, Android 16, like cool character, but some may be like, you know, he didn't really play like a big role. Like he's just in the Android saga, but honestly plays a very important role.
Contrary to popular belief.
Well, actually, plays a very important role not only in the Cell games, but in the rest of Z, if you think about it, and maybe even to what we're getting into now.
That was like a very pivotal moment.
Yeah, because his words. Oh, dude, look up his speech while I say this. 16's his last words to Gohan, because his words,
So we could just watch that scene.
Well, at least just bring it up.
Yeah.
Because I don't know like what that scene is like, if there's like other shit going on. But his words and death were the catalyst for Gohan to let go and release his true power that was used to defeat Cell.
What? Android 16.
Oh no. He got his head knocked off.
I threw him too far. Gohan, let it go. It is not a sin to fight for the right cause. There are those who words alone will not reach. Cell is such a being. I know how you feel, Gohan. You are gentle. You do not like to hurt. I know because I, too, have learned these feelings. But it is because you cherish life that you must protect it. Ugh. This sentimental downpour is killing me. It's so nice of you to help, 16. But I plan on doing this my way. Please, drop your restraints. Protect the life I loved. You have the strength. My scanners sensed it. Just let it go.
Oh, man, I was hoping it was going to show it. But that is like one of the... What was about to happen was probably arguably one of the most iconic moments in all of Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, yeah.
So again, plays a big role. His words and death were the catalyst for Gohan to let go and release his true power. And again, whoops some Cell ass.
Oh, dude.
One of the, I'm sure I'm very biased, but in one of the best fight scenes in anime history.
Oh, yeah. So got fucked.
Yeah, and it's not even like, you can argue like so many more modern animes have like cooler fight scenes, they're doing more shit, but just like the weight that moment like held, like everyone was just fucking... Dude, can you imagine watching that? Like on Toonami, first fucking coming out, and you're just on the edge of your seat, and you're like, dude, such a cool thing to experience for the first time.
Agreed.
But yeah, no, that's really all I have on Android 16.
All right.
Yeah, and again, you know, he makes cameos and he's pretty much in every Dragon Ball Z game.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
But a really cool character. Really cool character.
All right. So now we're moving on to Android 17.
17. Can you do something for me?
Ooh.
Ah, shit. I made that joke too early.
Yeah.
Damn it. We'll come back to it.
Android 17, whose real name is Lapis, is a prominent character in the Dragon Ball series, obviously. Initially introduced as a villain in Dragon Ball Z, he later becomes an important ally and recurring character in Dragon Ball Super. Lapis is a now park ranger, along with his twin sister, Lazuli, Android 18. Their names were never actually said in the series. They were kidnapped and transformed into an android by Dr. Gero.
Wasn't it in an interview with Akira Toriyama where he gave more information?
It was something like that.
Or it was like written in like a book that I think was still like...
It was a canon book, but it was not... I think it was like kid-friendly canon book that Akira Toriyama had written for like children.
Oh, that's cool. Just give more information.
Something like
characters.
That. I think it was something like that.
Yeah.
But they were kidnapped and transformed into androids by Dr. Gero, the former Red Ribbon Army scientist. As Android 17, he gained superhuman abilities amid strength and unlimited stamina. Despite being referred to as androids or cyborgs, and commonly regarded as such, both Android 17 and his sister are practically neither. Bulma stated while looking at 17's blueprint that he was human-based, but just about everything has been enhanced with bioorganic components. In Dragon Ball Z, Android 17 is one of the main protagonists during the Cell Saga. He teams up with his sister, Android 18, and together they pose a significant threat to the Z Fighters. 17's strongest personal trait is his sense of self. He does his best to resist the will of Dr. Gero and fights a futile battle against Cell to assert his identity and his pride. He is also overconfident in his power, believing that nobody was stronger than him and denying it if someone else said otherwise. This changed when he saw Cell and Android 16's strength in battle. However, during the battle against Cell, Android 17 is absorbed by Cell, temporarily becoming part of the villain's perfect form. R.I.P. Following Cell's defeat, Android 17 is later revived and plays a vital role in Dragon Ball Super. He becomes a park ranger and lives on an island, protecting the wildlife. What a good fucking guy.
Mm-hmm. And we were talking earlier, I wonder if that had any part in just like what 16 stood for. And maybe he just felt some guilt, and he was like, 16 loved life. He loved nature. Mm-hmm. So I vowed to protect it with what I decided to do with the rest of my life.
Definitely could have just like carried those traits on.
Like, I'm going to carry the torch.
Yeah. Took on his legacy.
Yeah. Because, 17, 18, brother and sister, but I think they also viewed 16 as a brother as well.
Yeah. I'm sure. I mean, they spent a lot of time together.
Yeah.
Following Cell's defeat... When the Tournament of Power is announced, Android 17 is recruited as a member of Universe 7's team, representing Earth. And this is Dragon Ball Super right here. During the Tournament of Power, Android 17 showcases combat prowess, displaying remarkable strength, speed, and tactical skills. His teamwork and strategic thinking contribute significantly to Universe 7's success. Ultimately, he becomes one of the last remaining fighters alongside, you guessed it, Goku and Frieza in the climactic battle. Android 17's character development throughout the series highlights his growth from a rebellious android to a heroic ally. His dedication to protecting his island and the natural world, as well as his willingness to sacrifice himself for the greater good, make him a beloved character and a respected character in the Dragon Ball franchise.
You know, that's a character development arc not many people really think about.
Yeah.
But that is true.
Not Cell. Android 17, when he was like first introduced, he was a fucking asshole.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was just like, again, he was like, I'm the strongest.
Yeah.
You can't tell me otherwise. I will do what I want.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you program me to do this one thing, but I'm not even going to do that. And by the way, I'm going to fucking kill you.
Yeah, literally. More or less. So that was it. That's
so from that to now, a trusted, loyal friend, park ranger, takes care of nature and life, loves life. It's quite the development. Yep.
Helping save Universe 7.
I mean, Vegeta had some development, but he ain't even do all that.
No.
He's still an ass.
Yeah.
But he's our ass.
We love him.
You know what I'm saying?
We love Vegeta.
I know. That's the fucking GOAT. He's the GOAT. That one meme.
To this day.
To this day. All right, so that leads us to Android 18. And as you said, originally named Lazuli when she was a human, and was also the older sister to Android 17. What was his name? Lapis?
Lapis, yeah.
Lapis
lazuli. I think it's like
a rock or a mineral or something. Yeah, I did see that. So she and her brother were captured by Dr. Gero as kids and experimented on to become his androids in his tireless pursuit to avenge the Red Ribbon Army and kill Goku. He's like, fine, I'm going to kill this fucker one way or another.
Seriously.
So she eventually, I skip a lot here, but I was trying to skip the main story stuff that we, for the most part, know.
Yeah.
So again, Android Saga, they're created to kill Goku. They end up just doing what they want. Cell games happen. Cell absorbs them.
Cell dies.
Cell dies. Well, he regurgitates 18.
Oh, yeah.
17 gets revived.
That's true.
From there, Krillin's watching over her. They fall in love.
I'm going to fuck that robot.
I'm going to fuck that robot. Hold on. Bulma, did you say she's mainly human? Did I hear that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he originally thought that they were boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
But it's awkward. We're brother and sister. But depending on where you're at, I mean.
Hey. You want to go down to Alabama?
Oh, gosh. So, with all that being said, she eventually marries Krillin, and they have a kid together, Marin. Man, dude, Krillin...
He fucks.
We gotta talk about that for a second. Krillin's...
He got game.
He's that guy. And I did see something, and it's very true. So we all know, I mean, if you're a pretty big Dragon Ball Z fan, you know Krillin is the strongest human.
Yeah.
You know? But... I was about to say, he's the strongest, but obviously not. But, the Saiyans have something to, rely on, you know?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Krillin just gets, overshadowed, obviously. Especially since he hasn't really been trained and stuff.
Yeah.
But, he doesn't have Super Saiyan.
Mm-mm.
He doesn't have any of that stuff to rely on to increase his power.
Yeah.
He just has to, train. He's just a normal human.
Yeah.
So,
and when he don't train, he loses it.
He's a fucking beast, though.
Yeah.
He's a fucking beast. The only, increase he had was when they went to Namek.
And he got wished for the power, yeah.
Well, that Namek put his hand on him and, unlocked his full potential.
Exactly, yeah.
The Supreme King Namekian, I don't remember his name. So, either way, she eventually marries Krillin, and they have a kid together, Marin. Although she is an android, she is still mostly human, and can continuously get stronger and stronger through training, which I thought was cool. So it's you literally have endless potential. You just have to train and train. And with you being that type of android, you have unlimited stamina pretty much. So even in Dragon Ball Super, her power can be demonstrated when she kicks Goku's Super Saiyan Blue Kamehameha Wave away, as well as her fights in the Tournament of Power. So to this day, still a badass.
Yeah.
Again, that's all I have. I'm sure there's a lot of just story stuff I could have dove into, but I was just trying to get the stuff that, you may not like or may not think about as much.
Luckily, If you're a Dragon Ball fan, you know all about 18.
Yeah, you know all about Android 18.
All about her. Rule 34, Android 18.
We've been there. We've all been there. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me.
So let's go to
I'm getting warm.
Android 19.
19. The GOAT.
Dr. Giro's 19th creation, designed to serve Giro's vendetta against Goku, a tale as old as time. I wrote that. I was like, okay, this is like the fifth time I've put it.
Like he was like, can I think of another reason why he would create 19? Nah, it's Goku's still living. We got to get this little shit. Can't believe what he did.
He's close, though. Giro's getting close.
It's like, almost had him.
Android 19's appearance consists of completely white skin, 2 dangling earrings, extra large orange pants, an extra large yellowish white strap-on vest, a broad red sash, and an orange pointed hat with the red ribbon logo.
We've all had that Android 19 nightmare.
Yeah. He's horrifying. Underneath his hat is a domed glass cranium similar to that of Android 20, but with a pinkish color and entirely mechanical brain housed inside. Out of all of Dr. Giro's androids, 19 is by far Dr. Giro's most loyal and obedient creation. He's committed to Giro, his quest for revenge against Goku, and was very eager to face Goku himself. He is also very intelligent, as he was able to convert his creator, Dr. Giro, into Android 20. Spoiler alert. An energy-absorbed model like himself.
And again, that's why he's so loyal and obedient.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have to have the behavioral limiters disabled.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He is quite confident in his abilities and appears to take pleasure in his opponent's suffering, such as when Goku is weakened by his heart virus. R.I.P. Despite being a machine, he is shown to possess the ability to feel fear, and even cowardly attempts to flee out of fear of Super Saiyan Vegeta, as his data on Vegeta didn't show his current strength at the time, since he had been training in 450 times the Earth's gravity for 3 years. Obviously, it's hyperbolic time chamber years.
That
for
3
Vegeta.
days?
Yeah, it was literally like nothing. He like walked in, walked out. They're like, damn, you done already? It's like, I've been in here for 3 years.
I can't even fucking grasp that. That's
I know.
crazy.
In Android 19's fight with Vegeta, Vegeta slowly tears his arms off.
Dude, because it's literally like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking iconic.
Hits him with the Big Bang attack, and his head rolls away from the scene lifeless.
Dude.
Yeah, that's a fucking sick scene. As
That
everybody's
is a sick
just
scene.
watching, they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Dude, Big Bang Attack is probably one of my favorite, like, just moves in general in all of Dragon Ball
it's
Z.
fucking dope.
Especially in the games.
But yeah,
That shit go
like
hard.
you said, that's like an iconic death scene. He's just... Because Android 19's got Vegeta, and he's like, nah. He's like,
I got you.
yeah.
Give me these. Just fucking rips them off.
Yeah,
dude, I've seen like an actual... It was like one of those bigger, expensive statue figures, but it was of that scene.
No way.
Dude, yeah. That'd
That's
probably be
sick.
worth getting.
Fuck yeah, that's so sick.
And I can't remember if you said it, but I had seen somewhere that his design was based off of a doll of some sort, right?
I did see something about that.
It was like some metal or something that they had taken from a victory or something, but that's where he based the design. Some type of statue they had.
Yeah.
But they based Android 19's design off that statue. I want to say.
Yeah, I
Is
read
that all
something.
you had on 19?
Yeah.
So lastly, we have Android 20.
Lastly for you.
Oh, sorry. Gosh, I forgot.
Lastly of the canon.
You are right. So Android 20, very cold-hearted and willing to stop at nothing to achieve his goals, as we've seen.
Yes. He's like,
The
fuck
story-
it, I'm going to become an
The
android.
story is old as time.
Wait, what's that one, like, famous line? Fuck it, I'll do it myself.
Yeah, exactly. No, seriously. So with that being said, although not incredibly strong in comparison to the other androids, he makes up for it with his knowledge, even rivaling Bulma in all of Capsule Corp. So with that knowledge, after Dr. Gero created Android 19, he ordered him to turn himself, Dr. Gero, into an immortal android, including his brain as the only human part. So years after studying Goku and the Z Warriors and collecting samples from them, he starts working on creating a new supreme fighting entity, later known as Cell. but ultimately ends up being killed by one of his own creations, Android 17.
Crazy.
Lapis. Lupus.
Don't fuck with nature, boy.
I'm a park ranger. The more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out.
Indeed.
Gah! Give me that. Because I think he fucking impales him with his arm.
Yeah. All right. So lastly,
hurry up. I gotta piss.
We have Android 21.
Yeah.
Android 21.
Can you do that for me?
Fuck.
You didn't say it. I'm surprised.
I don't know why, but you got it. You got it covered. She appears as the main antagonist of Dragon Ball FighterZ when in her evil persona. Her intellect rivals that of Dr. Gero, though she may be even smarter than he was.
Oh my god.
Dragon Ball Superhero arc proves Android 21 to be canon. So, do you remember when they were showing the
flashback?
Not the flashbacks, but it was on the computer screens when they were showing the descendants of
I know what she looks like, and it showed her.
Yeah.
Right? It was showing the family tree.
Hito,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's when I guess it's canon now.
Mm-hmm.
She claimed she was initially a human-type Earthling converted by Dr. Gero into an android. As a human, she had a son with Dr. Gero, who became the model for the design of Android 16.
Mm-hmm. Jivo?
Yep. Android 21 is described as a tall, curvaceous scientist with glasses and long, bushy auburn hair.
Can confirm.
She has a gold ring on her left middle finger and black nails. She wears a pair of hoop earrings, a sleeveless, short, blue and red checker pattern high neck mini dress with opaque black tights, matching black detached arm sleeves, and blue and red ankle high heel boots with gold tips.
They are tight. Can confirm.
She also usually wears a white lab coat with her outfit.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately.
In her true form, Android 21 keeps her curvy body, but her skin turns pink, her hair becomes white with a pink tint, her ears become pointed, her eyes changing depending on if her evil takes over, and she gains a tail. Her attire changes to a black tube top, keeping the black arm sleeves with gold bracelets at the ends. Her boots become black, and also gaining white baggy pants. It's noted that she most resembles a Majin in this form.
So
it's very clear.
Canonically, she's not a Majin. It just happens to resemble? Or are we getting there?
We're getting there.
Okay, let me shut up.
Literally this line. Her appearance in her true form is the result of her having all of the traits of the Z Fighters, Frieza, Cell, and Majin Buu rolled into one. Yeah. So Dr. Gero took all the cells from the Z Fighters, Cell, Frieza, and Buu.
How did he do that?
Don't ask me, dude.
How did he do that?
Don't ask me, dude.
Well, I mean, I know because Buu is... It's not like when the Majin arc, it's not like that's the first time that we see Buu.
Yeah.
So this has happened.
That's what I was wondering too.
So, but I'm like, how did he get
Jero's
that?
dead. How did it get the Majin Buu cell?
So that makes me wonder about is this part of it canon?
Yeah.
So obviously her, as a person is canon.
The only canon part that we know is her in her human form.
Okay. So maybe the other part's non-canon.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So Android 21, I don't think is canon, but her as the person, I guess.
Being Dr. Gero's wife, looking like this, being the mother to Jivo, that's all canon.
Yeah, it's very confusing.
Yeah.
Trust me. Her hunger is so great and painful. So she has the Majin cells, right?
Mm-hmm.
Her hunger is so great and painful that it has led, Android 21's psyche being damaged and manifesting a split personality.
Oh, shit.
The evil 21 does not dismiss the idea of galactic conquest, which may also be influenced by Frieza's cells. The longer she goes without feeding, the more the evil side of her gains control. When her true persona is in control, she acts like a kind and motherly woman who is concerned about Android 18 and agreed to help her. When her evil persona is in control, however, she becomes a sadistic and power-hungry sociopath wanting to devour all the powerful fighters. drawing to the point of near insanity. Though Android 21's good side is aware of the fact that her human template was the mother of Android 16's template, which causes her to develop mother-like affection for him, she admits she has little to no memory of her former life as a human. Though she enjoys thinking about what her template's name and life might have been like, she is also apparently unaware that Dr. Giraud was the father of Android 16's template, or of his relationship with her human template. So yeah,
we just need to play that game, man.
Yeah, I guess there's literally some point, because there's a lot of details I didn't put in here, just because I don't want to make it super long. But at some point, I guess, she like splits, like, and then she's like a good and a bad.
Right.
So, yeah, it's kind of crazy.
I'm not going to lie. We're all hanging out Saturday. I know we got some things going on, but I would be down to play the shit out of this game.
Honestly, a good idea. I wonder if it's on Game Pass.
It may be. We can check, but I wouldn't mind buying it if not.
That would be
because I would be
fun.
definitely down. Yeah. Just take turns, fighting games, just get some story, kick some ass. Yeah, let's remember that. But
that's all I had for the Androids.
Is there anything else you want to say? Anything you want to end on, or are you good?
You know what? What I want to say is thank you for listening if you made it this far.
Seriously, you're a trooper.
Yeah, appreciate you, Ashley.
I don't know if Kansas still listens to these. Wow. But if you especially, I mean, thank you. Ashley.
Shout out to Travis.
Travis? Cyanide?
Yep.
Travis T. Travis?
He's our biggest fan.
Oh, hell yeah. But if you're listening to this and you actually don't know us on a personal level, then a special shout out to you. Because that's just cool.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
That's cool.
That is cool.
Appreciate you. But this has been episode 34 of the Hardcore Podcast. Hope you enjoyed listening. It was fun to do that research, even if it ended up not being as much as we were hoping for. But again, we got some really good games coming out, a lot to look forward to there. So if any of that interested you at all, definitely check out the trailers. And we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Bye. You're fucking weird, dude.
Oh, yeah.